Alrighty, people of the world. Welcome back. Today we're on day 3 of our little Forza Horizon 6 escapade. Now, Forza Horizon 6 actually got an update that dropped today. Which, not gonna lie, I didn't expect. I really didn't expect it. It is actually quite interesting, not gonna lie. As far as the patch is concerned, it's about stability, for the most part. So, I will go in and I'll take a little... I will go in and take a little peek at it. Potentially. Well, not potentially. Let's... Bug fixes and changes general performance and stability. I wonder if they're patching an exploit. Oh, they've got a second hot... That's the second hotfix? That's something I didn't even realize. Collection journal. Fixed an issue where the photography section of Discover Japan could not be complete, which prevented players from reaching Master Explorer. And then there was one for PC. What's the audio side? Further optimizations have been applied to PC audio performance, including adjustments to low and very low audio quality settings. We recommend using these settings within graphics and performance section of the settings menu if you are experiencing audio crackling. Which is interesting. It says hotfix 2. Oh! On May 2022, or May 22nd. This is 27th, this was last Friday. Between all these channels, we identified a few key areas of improvement that our team is already working on. Drivatar AI balance. We've heard from you that sometimes our AI opponents are too fast to compete with, especially at higher difficulty levels. Brother! That has been a thing since Forza Horizon 1. Don't you dare try and worm your way out of this one. This should have been patched a long time ago. It should have been like Australia. It should have been patched out a long time ago. Fucking Australia with all those venomous snakes and spiders and everything. As we investigate, we will monitor your feedback and review our data, coming back to you with an update once we have something concrete to share. I'm assuming they're going to say that, and then ultimately probably not deliver on that. Not at least until the 7th game. Because if they really want to make the next game more interesting, I would highly suggest having smart opponents that can learn from you. Because one thing you'll notice, I'm obviously not showing it here. I'm not gonna pull Steam over and all that kind of stuff. One thing you'll notice is when you're playing with the Drivatars, a lot of them are just this, either from your friends list or the same name bots. So the biggest one that's going around right now is Bowie Knife 99. And he's a bit of a degenerate. PC frame rate on AMD GPUs. We're aware of performance issues on AMD graphics cards, and they're working on fixes to improve overall frame rates. Your feedback, yeah. PC audio crackling. PC crashes and invalid loading errors. This one is interesting. I've never experienced this. We've been reading your reports about some crashes and errors you are encountering on the PC version of Forza. We've already released a hotfix that makes improvements to the invalid loading errors, and we're continuing to work on additional fixes that will be rolled out in future updates. Interesting. Pardon me. In addition to the improvements outlined above, we are developing future content updates for Forza Horizon 6. Our first festival playlist series, Welcome to Japan, has already kicked off. So, What I like from this overall patch list, like from hotfix 1, is how they're actually addressing the rubber banding. They're like, hey, listen, we are aware that some of our opponents are a little too fast. Yeah, you think? The solution to that would be to use actual intelligence. To actually have something that's balanced. And if they're genuinely working towards that, that is very positive, and I do applaud them for it. Because, I mean, with a game like Forza, and with the way things are with things like Stop Killing Games, they're not in a position to have rubber banding anymore, because this game is going to exist even after the servers are shut down. It'll all be single player. So you can start a new game, roam around Japan and all that kind of stuff. Because Stop Killing Games has put a thing out saying that games from 2026 onward have to be available even after the servers are sunset. So Stop Killing Games is doing some major work there. Because at the end of it all, with a game like Forza, just like they did with 5, and 5 is atrocious for rubber banding, they could have done rubber banding so heavy that it just pushes players to play online because it's a more fair situation. Because there's actual talent and skill involved, rather than an AI that just goes from point A to point B. Now, one thing I want to look into is IGN's review. Before we even get into it, before we even get into stream tonight, why are there video autoplay? I don't want to see that. Okay. What is with the? Why was the video autoplay? It just didn't let me pause it. No, stop it. Okay, let me change my screen. What is playing? What is playing on this? Mute. Well, let's go. Let's go. On paper, it will seem a little odd that it took Forza Horizon until the 6th game to find its way to Japan. Few countries on Earth command the same level of renown as Japan when it comes to automobile culture. The home of drifting, the Daikoku PA, and one of the few cars to ever get Dominic Toretto out of a Dodge. Regardless of how you slice it, a stopover in Japan certainly feels long overdue. However, after playing Forza Horizon 6 for the last week, I can't help but be glad developer Playground Games waited. For mine, that's primarily thanks to the astounding step up in map quality. It goes beyond just being the biggest or the most beautiful, which it is, no doubt. Crucially, it is also the most credible and car-friendly. And I can't understate how much richness and believability this adds to the world itself. Every corner of the map feels like a place I can pause or park, meaning everywhere I arrive feels like a destination. So that is essentially an overview of Japan itself. Or this map in particular, because while Forza tries to do its thing, they do a depiction, a not so like for like. What is this? No, IGN Plus. You think I want to pay to read your dog shit articles? Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Anyway, that aside. This actually isn't a bad introduction so far. Updated May 14th. So, reviewers got the game even earlier than mainline players that bought premium, which is interesting. From moment to moment, particularly while participating in races, it's fair enough to say that Forza Horizon 6 resembles past games in the series in a number of obvious ways. Okay. At its core, it offers more or less the same brand of class-based racing as its predecessors. Not quite. Not quite. We'll get into that. We'll get onto that just right this second as it's here. So, class-based, like its predecessors, is both accurate. It's both an accurate statement to make, plus it's also inaccurate, because prior Horizon games, 4 and 5 strayed from it, just a little bit. You still had the whole class-based system. However, what they did in 4 and 5, which, don't get me wrong, is annoying as all sin, and it was era and class-based. Which, in a game like Forza, that's a no. That is absolutely a no. It should always be a mixture. It should always be a mixture. And the reason I say it's a no is it's just so irritating to grab a Volkswagen Beetle, right? Ramp that sucker up to A class or S class. S2 is the highest you went in 4 and 5. And then X class was the highest. I think it's R1 is the highest here. But when you max spec out a Volkswagen Beetle, you do the engine swap, all that kind of stuff, you're not put into a race that is strictly other S1, S2 vehicles. They had a filter on it that only put you up against S1, S2 versions of the classic era vehicles, so 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. That's why in 4, you fully, or in 5 as well, yeah. That's why in 4 and 5 you would be up against Morgan 3-wheeler, Robin Reliance, all that kind of stuff, rather than the equivalent vehicle from modern years. So cars from like the 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, you did not race against them in the slightest if you picked a Volkswagen Beetle. That's at least how it's been for me every single time. So yeah, it is kind of correct when it says class-based racing. However, I think in 6 it's changed somewhat. I've had a DeLorean go against more recent vehicles, but I might be misremembering the exact era, because you're not able to check that mid-race anymore, unfortunately. So let's bring you back in. We're not going to spend too long on this, because I just want to get in and play the game. The timer clicks down, you mash the throttle. You don't actually mash the throttle, it doesn't do anything until you hit go. And fight your way to the front of the pack is still great racing. I feel like I've caught the AI making more impressive. Wait. It is still a great racing, and I will say I feel like I've caught the AI making more impressive evasive adjustments than I recall them executed in the past. Okay, broadly speaking, however, the racing itself remains similar. Okay. So when I got my hands on Forza Horizon 6 on the 15th, I kind of felt similar as well. I think on occasion they were braking so they wouldn't smack into me, but I've since pushed back against that and said, hey, listen, I think that was just a coincidence because they had to brake too. For that specific corner, because that's kind of how they're programmed. I caught the AI and make more and more impressive adjustments. Broadly speaking, however, the race itself remains similar. No. This is only it only feels similar to 1. It doesn't feel anything. Okay. The overall racing feel of this feels more like 1, but with all the, it feels like a more physics heavy version of 5, but with the main racing aspects of 1. So that one is quite interesting. On a gamepad, it all feels quite similar to, I mean, the standard layout, so of course it will. The handling is still a successful blend of simulation-inspired elements with a tangible sense of weight and grip. Okay, that's a little bit of padding. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, with smooth and approachable steering controls, for anyone unfamiliar with the feel of Forza Horizon, it's by no means a punishing and impenetrable driving simulator. It's not a driving sim. It's an arcade racer. That will fling you off the road for the mildest misjudgment. Oh, what was the one we played? Oh, a hell of a while back on stream. What was it? Cars something or other. The Crew 2 is very much one. No, it's not the Crew. The Crew is even easier to play than the thing is Grid. No, not Grid. Ah, fudge. Can I sort by? No. We did play a racing game on here. I think it was Grid 2. Oh god, I've not played Grid Autosports since 2015. Are you kidding? My PC would tear that to shreds now. If it even runs, because Windows 11's a pain in the bum. What is this? But anyway, point aside, I played a racing game on stream, and it was like, it was one of the few VR supported games that I have, so I know that much. But Forza doesn't really punish you for driving or making a misjudgment. Like you brake wrong, you're off the track. That's not how that works. Or one minor steering adjustment, and it's off the tracks. So far, this actual review isn't terrible. The 1 for 5 was absolutely atrocious because it was just a glorified overview of the game. It's also not a point and squirt pure blood arcade race like Burnout Paradise. No. It's still an arcade racer, but it's not a pure blood one. It's strictly like Burnout. On a wheel, it does feel like there's a very welcome increase in the amount of front end grip. Oh, so they actually did play it on a wheel. Okay. So my assumption is that the reviewer here has played this on a wheel, instead of them relaying information they've been given. Whether you're negotiating with the many kinks and hairpin turns that characterize Forza Horizon 6 degrees stretches of road. Yeah. At this point, you may be wondering whether Forza Horizon 6 is just Forza Horizon 5 on the new map. Claims so would be far too reductive, totally ignoring what has changed. Forza Horizon 6 arrives with an adjusted and more satisfying approach to its campaign progression. That's something we haven't even touched yet, is the campaign. Because in 5, the campaign, well, I appreciate it. It came down to you being this big shot legend, who's like, okay, here's this content creator called Laracer, go beat sometimes. Here's this movie star or movie production crew. There are stunt drivers there, but we want you to fill in the stunt driver's place. Here you go. It's just you're showing up at random parts. Like, you're showing up in random parts of... It's either Mexico or Scotland is one of the two that I had issues with. Because you had no business being there. Because you're at a festival. You're a big shot racer at a festival. And it's like... Nothing is really tied together as a story. There are story elements. But it's not like there's a beginning, middle, and end. One that straddles the middle ground between the curated structure of the original and adds unbridled freedom embraced by Forza Horizon 5. Unbridled freedom's a bit of a stretch, but okay. It brought with it numerous boosts to car graphics and audio. Okay. Audio, I have a problem with. The statement that they're talking about with audio, I see it, but I also don't. I hear it and see it, but I also don't. Because audio for me is a bit finicky. The audio through Bluetooth is absolutely atrocious. Quality-wise is good, but it's just too low. Meanwhile, if I wear my wired earbuds, they're just loud as hell, and it's fantastic. But ultimately, the audio itself still has issues. I do enjoy the fact that when you're in the garage, your radio is playing like it actually is in a garage, which is fantastic. There's been a massive increase in what's possible with user-generated content creation tools, and we can now customize user-generated creation tools. That, yes, to a point, yes. But ultimately, you're still more restricted than anything else. You're more restricted because of just... In Western culture, there's things that you cannot show in this day and age, whereas in like 5 you could get away with it. Like a good example, the General Lee. You got General Lee written on the car, you got the number, but the main piece that sets that car out, sets it above everything else, is the Confederate flag. Now Confederacy, I'm not gonna get into that. I know nothing about that. What I do know is there are a bunch of dicks. That's all I know. They're bad people. However, the people at Playground Games are like, hey, we don't like the Confederacy flag. Let's just not allow it. And now we can customize garages, construct wild private racetracks. Okay. I want to get into that at some point in the future and see what I can do with it, because it seems like a lot of fun. On our personal estates, estates. Wait, so there's you can get multiple estates instead of houses? Interesting. And even build in multiplayer anywhere around the open. Wait, what? Whoa! Even build in multiplayer anywhere around the open world. Toji open world car meets drop in, drop out, temp attacks. Drop in, drop out is just. That one is pretty good because you can just start it and then it takes you to it. The style of Forza Horizon 6's riff on Japan should come as no surprise to those familiar with the series. Pilfering a pile of picturesque. Wow, that's flattery, not flattery. It's padding. Yeah, this one is padding. It's talking about the surroundings. We don't need to know about that. Makes no geographical sense, but also the blend of natural beauty and engineering spectacle is just outstanding. From the way low sun lights, the patchy snow and lush fields in the fringe alpine region, down to the snaking multi-level ramps and freeways that loom over Tokyo's dense metro and industrial areas. It makes no geographical sense. Okay, so that's what they're on about. They're on about the fact that Forza takes creative liberties with locations. That is most gorgeous, yada, total showstopper. No Forza Horizon map has nailed the sense of both natural and man-made scale quite successfully as this one. I would agree. But that one for Xbox 360? Okay. I love particularly, it goes far beyond postcard friendly vistas. They're talking about scenery. I would have loved to have seen a full spectrum of underground parking lots. And on that one specific note, it's arguable that Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which is based in the similar dense Hong Kong. No one is talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Test Drive is a franchise that is it's pretty much dead at this point. There's a bit of sun that's annoying me, so let me fix that real quick. I had to remind myself to get my blinds fixed. Holy crap. Yeah, no one is talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. It's a dead game. It is 1,000,000% dead. It has many underground, polished concrete parking garages complete with working boom gates. Yeah. Has Forza Horizon 6 slightly beat? In the case of garages, potentially, I think. Like Solar Crown, however, Forza Horizon FH6 does feature petrol stations. They're not interactive, but they are realistically everywhere all over Japan. There's only ever been one in the whole Horizon series before. A single Outback petrol station servicing Australia's entire eastern seaboard back in 3. Yeah, Japan is a world that respects the car. Japan is also... Let's talk more about Japan on the wrist. Cars look fantastic, but specifically they look more seated into the world than ever before. That's especially true in the frosty weather, where they become encrusted with a rough sheen of ice. Oh. Yeah, that's something I've noticed on occasion, is just all the particle effects are really nice. Car sound is the best it's ever been. I do enjoy that Forza Horizon 6 brings back the curated wristband structure of the 2012 original. 2012? I thought it was 2011, wasn't it? I think that the overall sensor progression is considerably better. The sensor progression isn't actually terrible in 6 so far. Overall, the tighter career structure only temporarily infringes on the freedom afforded to customize races. Afforded to customize races that players of Forza Horizon 5 should be accustomed to. That is, well, a race will initially have a set class and car theme. Ooh. After this has been completed, you can use custom options to race it on subsequent occasions and any other car from your garage. It's an effective compromise between a more traditional approach. Okay, so if I'm reading that right, they're on about the specific themes that races currently have. So like your unlimited rally, your Japanese cars, all that kind of stuff, the things with specific tags to it. I like it. I like it a fair amount. It's the same as N5, basically. Once you've done it, you can go back and do it again with whatever vehicle you want. However, what I'm interested in is if I go back and do it with any vehicle I want, am I going to be against the same type of vehicle as myself? Or am I going to be racing against the original typing of that race? So if I go into off-road, unlimited off-road or unlimited SUV or whatever, with a modded Supra up to A-class or S1 class, am I going to go against other cars of that type? That performance index and car typing or car era, whatever. Am I going to race against SUVs and off-roaders as opposed to 1990s cars, 1980s, 2000s, that kind of thing? That's what I'm curious about. Because so far, they've always stuck to the typing. Specifically the typing. And I've never really been mismatched. But I'm wondering if all that changes. This is actually giving me things to think about. So kudos to IGN for this one. Overall, the tighter career... We're halfway through it. Overall, the tighter career structure only temporarily infringes. Yeah. Oh, we've read that. What's the story of Coin Buddy? The There's no pillar of progression in Forza Horizon 6. It's all about exploration. Nice. Playground Games did make something of the decision to have the player character arrive at the Horizon Festival as a tourist in Japan. That's a good thing. That is if they say something negative about that, I'm gonna be pissed, because it's a good thing they've arrived there as a tourist rather than, oh, you're the superstar from the previous game. Because that is boring. That is genuinely boring. Don't do that. Although your identity as a tourist doesn't really seem to inform much, you're still immediately presented with a trio of pre-modified cars to start with. And while it seems like you're choosing one, you're actually gifted all three. Part of me does wonder whether using Forza Horizon 6's new aftermarket car system. Wait, what? Part of me does wonder whether using Forza Horizon 6's new aftermarket car system, where cars for sale are positioned around the world to drive up to, you in person through time, could be more a more immersive option. Perhaps we could have headed out to cruise Tokyo in a borrowed car to find one of our own to buy. Interesting. Okay, so that's never really happened before in Forza. Did this just refresh on me just to get an ad? Oh, you're a slut. You're an absolute slut. Fuck off, IGN. It's giving me something to think about. A little bit. Overall. And where was I in this article? Car for sale. Yeah, that cars for sale thing. It is an interesting thing because we've come across a couple of cars that are just not modified, or they don't seem to have much going in the way for them as upgrades go. But most of them are definitely pre-modified, and it's very interesting to see. But the fact they bring up the fact this reviewer, I think is Luke Riley, he brings up a good point about the intro, how it doesn't matter which car you pick, because after that first initial race, you're just gifted all three cars anyway. And I agree with the fact that you should really... I think you should have either been gifted just the car you picked, and you're left, well, to earn the others or buy them or whatever, or you borrow a vehicle. Now, borrowing a vehicle is interesting because it's not really suited for a festival racer, because everyone's in a car. Cars are like a bottle of juice. You get them everywhere. So borrowing just doesn't make any sense. Now, would it have made things a little bit more interesting? You hop in a ute and you go find your own vehicle either on the street or you buy from the auto show. It would, but it would also add an unnecessary step. It would be an interesting step, but it would also ultimately be unnecessary. It would just add filler. Because you have the three, you have a Sylvia, a pre-modified Sylvia, you have a Jimmy, and you have the Celica. I'm calling it Celica, that's what I've known it for years. You have each of them, and you just pick one. You pick one, and bada bing, bada boom. All the games have done it like that so far. You pick your ute, you go out driving, you earn your money, you upgrade it, yada yada yada. What else are they saying? Let's bring it back up. If we're not spending too much longer on this, because the verdict's down below. I see it. Could be more immersive option. Take a borrowed car. Yada yada. The race. Okay. Or maybe it would be neat to have needed to take a road trip to one of the permanent racetracks on the map to, say, meet a local, getting rid of an old project car or a clapped out track day jam, the race and the drift circuits on the map are oozing with grassroots motorsport charm, and I love visiting them. It adds unnecessary steps, but it would be an interesting take. But I have a feeling that a lot of people wouldn't like it. This is a pretty minor complaint considering how quickly and regularly you begin to accumulate cars. Playground has scaled back the wheel spin prize mechanic to be far less common, which is smart because I think it has gotten overused. I don't think so. Because VIP members used to get daily wheel spins. They would get decent wheel spins on occasion. No, it was the house that done it. You get wheel spins for leveling up, which I still like. Forza Horizon 4 would accumulate your wheel spins so that you could build them up, and then you get in, and then you just unload them. And you get a whole boatload of money in one go. Horizon 5 stopped that, and they seem to have scaled it back quite a bit here on 6 as well. Technically, Forza Horizon 6 has not skipped a beat and it runs like a titan. Aesthetically, it is the best looking and best sounding game Playground has produced to date. Set in the most wonderfully realised map it's ever crafted, full of dense, authentic details and stunning driving roads. Rewarding to explore. Fucking ad. The campaign is well paced with a great payoff. I simply cannot stop playing. I'll always concede Forza Horizon 3 maybe forever my favourite, because who doesn't love driving around their own backyard? So that's in Australia, so he's Aussie. But make no mistake, Horizon 6 is unequivocally the best. New standard in open world racing. For every single one except what many feel like the best. Interesting. Playground has proven track record. Interesting. It's not a racing. I'm not a racing game guy, but this looks really good. Seriously, how long have gifts been down? Wow. Today I learned that two multi-platform games with similar budgets, similar live service aspirations from highly regarded studios in popular genres should have in no way be discussed relative to each other. Considering that TDU Solar Crown is dead, it is just a dog shit game. But yeah. That review actually wasn't terrible. I mean, it did miss a few. It actually didn't this time around, surprisingly. It didn't really mention the AI problems that everyone else is having. So, it mentioned them without mentioning them outright, which is an interesting thing to experience. But ultimately, the campaign is solid. It talks about the map being in Japan, just the culture surrounding cars and all that there as well. For once, this isn't terrible. I'm shocked. Considering the bar for IGN reviews was so low. Like, yeah, does this come off as partially, does it come off as... Still come off as partially an overview? Yes and no, because they're going into more detail about it. Because ultimately, when you get down to the nitty gritty, right, with the last review on 5, You never really. It never really did much. All it did was say, like, oh, Mexico is big, it's expensive, it's beautiful. There's a lot of online stuff. This one didn't really. It didn't talk about online racing per se. It did, however, mention multiplayer maybe like once.
Welcome back, Peter.
Which I'm gonna applaud it for, because holy crap. Oh. Yeah, boy. Oh, we got our wheel spin. Do we not have Forzathon? I'd rather anything but the emote, thanks. What? Why is this now here? What? Horizon Play is our new multiplayer hub. Play any game mode with your friends to earn XP, level up, and unlock badges. Oh, that? Yeah. The review is a bit more honest than I thought it would have been. But I do think it could have mentioned something like rubber banding. Now, I'm not gonna throw like accusations out there, like proper ones. But the potential, because they got a reviewer's copy, they have an incentive to favor the game. Which I get a multi-billion-dollar company, Microsoft, is giving you early code and potentially reviewer money to talk about the game. So of course you're gonna favor it, like, oh, we found bugs. Yeah, we're just not gonna mention them. And with the game being a game that's out before day one, there's gonna be more bugs than expected. So I'm honestly shocked they never talked about it, because I guarantee you there's bugs. But at the same time, the review itself didn't come off as biased, because it did comparisons to other games. Like saying, oh, test drive Solar Crown. You know that dead game that's flopping around like a fish out of water? That there game. It does garages. It does the whole underground garage culture better than 6. Because it actually has more garage culture baked into it. And it's like, what? So I'm not really detecting bias from it, not at all. Oh my good graciousness. Where am I recommending maps events at? No. It wants me to do not that one, it's the other one. It's up here. It is this one. You get 4 minutes 15, unlock 33 new events. 33! Oh, we got a new street racing event. I want to do that. So the street racing ones are interesting because you can pull up in any ute that you want. And I have been watching a lot more Australian content recently, so I picked up a bit of slang from them, like ute. Right. What are we taking? You know what? I'm taking the M3. It's not the M3 GTR, however. Where's my TP? I need to blow my nose real quick. I'm actually stuffy. graciousness. Let's see. I haven't pulled an embarrassment yet, thankfully. Oh, what's next? Recommended don't recommend me content. Like, I love what they did with this menu here. Oh, what? Oh. All right, 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't need you to listen to all that bloody sniffing going on. Try to get rid of or try to clear my nose out. It is actually insanity with that, by the way. Oh, I freaking hate it. The fact I could just be sitting there and my nose is like, hey, yo, let's go. But like, nah. Things are going decently well right now. But like I said, that review from IGN took me by surprise. I expected it to be far more of an overview than it was. Because it's not like, oh, the previous games did this. It was bigger, more expensive than anything else. No, it absolutely didn't do that. It just goes into detail about certain areas of it. Certain areas of the game. Like the fact that it's in Japan. And potential wish lists. For what could have been in the game. Ultimately, I would say that it was a fine review. I'm actually happy to call it a review this time around. Unlike the one for 5, which was like, Mexico is big, Mexico is expansive, and there's online stuff. The fact that there was so little online yammering, that they were like, okay, you can play with friends, but you can also build tracks in multiplayer, and you can also build your own house. It's like, what? Or customize your garage. And I'm like, what? I expect them to be the opposite. Like, oh, look at this online stuff. Oh. I can't believe I'm like one of the few people that can grab a cold in this kind of temperature. At least I think it's a cold. I took hay fever stuff this morning for it. And I'm like, what? Yeah. It's just whenever I get quite warm, my nose is like, let's close up. And I'm sat here like, what, brother man? What are you talking about? Why are we closing up? Oh. My nose does feel hella stuffy though. So that is something. I also do apologize for not much racing tonight. We're gonna remedy that. One thing I wanna try though is to get the Dodge Challenger that I have to be stable. Actually, let's swap out to that and race with it. Don't mind me, I'm actually quite tired as well. I haven't done much today, shockingly. Oh. Are we just keeping this at a... We're just trying to keep this at a certain level, Jesus Christ. Actually though... Actually, I want to modify this. So let's go somewhere we can. If I can modify this and make it more stable, because by default when we got this car, it was a bit on the poo-poo side. Yeah, it was just swaying all over the place. I was like, what? What are you talking about, buddy? So we are going to go above B class for this. I'm going to go slicks. We're going to do this. We basically have almost everything we need installed anyway. So yeah, we now have better tires. We got more power, so we should be able to do a lot more. You failed. That is cap. I smell cap on that one. We're gonna do springs to be this. But it makes it sway just a bit more. That should do, I think. Hey, is this not an all-wheel drive transmission? That would explain a fair bit, actually, like why we're not, you know, pushing for, putting all the power to the wheels. Upgrades and tuning, custom. Oh yeah, we're not all-wheel drive. Reset the default, and then we'll make a custom for this. I'm gonna make it drivable. Because we're not putting turbo on it, not by any stretch. Did I just pick the wrong one? Yeah, I want race. I want a racing diff. Now we do tires. And we can do this. And this. A big problem, child, is gonna absolutely be camshaft. Do 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 do. I think this one's the better one. This camshaft here, so we can get in our fuel system. Just this, le pistons, all that kind of stuff. I think we go for this. I mean, it is 19k. That's fine because we earn more than that back anyway. So we should be good to go. We got more power. But more to the point, we're all-wheel drive now. So we're now going up to 181. $182, so we can bring this back up just a little bit. 178. So with that being said, if we really wanted to though, we could just do this so we're less slippery, we'll make it less bouncy. Do this. Yeah. Dude, we made the ultimate drivable A-class Charger RT. So that works out in the end for us. Well, that was a start and a half. What I'm beginning to appreciate more is just how nice this car feels after the upgrades. Aye. This should help. There we go. Damn, brother man. Geysers. I think they need spacing out more, to be honest. $146, that's insanity. A good mile per hour for like an A class like this would be 167, 168. Because we're not far off of what we have. Like we're not far off the mark in terms of what we had before.
Event. Oh my god.
I'm shocked that didn't kick me for it. I'm honestly shocked. Yeah, he slammed his brakes on for a second there. He let off the thing. Nah, you know what? Let's go back a bit. That should do. To be fair, I could have picked a better car for this. I'm gonna get it. I think I know what I can do to get a little bit of an upgrade here. And it's to lower the tire quality just so I can get more index and then I can add in a camshaft. Yeah, we're quitting the event. Either there's some AI shenanigans going on where they're getting faster at the last second, or I'm not putting out enough torque. Now, the Playground Games Act does hide that information from you. Without a doubt, they're really... I despise them for it. I really do. And there's a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease my tire quality. Or not tire quality. Where the... What? Why is my Discord picking up? It's because you have message from scammer. I'll deal with the scammer later. This is my stream. And I'm having a blast right now.
Welcome back, Peter.
So essentially, let's do upgrades and tuning, custom upgrade, let's go with tires. We'll go down to sports tire. Then we'll upgrade to cams. Do carb, do manifold. All of this is essentially installed already. So, yeah. If it still doesn't work, there's shenanigans going on, because that would be... Technically, this would be the best tuned car in that race. Whoa, what is happening? Let me restart the game. This is ridiculous. Why haven't you released the patch to fix performance problems and yet you haven't? This is cringe, my guy. Not a fan of it. Come on now. You know better. You absolutely know better than this. Are you kidding? And I'll have stats up on screen. What are my analytics looking like? Shout out to the 4 people that have viewed the stream so far. How generous. What I want to know is why people just don't stick around. There has to be some kind of a reason why people aren't sticking around. Come on now, game. Let's do it. Let's do it. Optimism for PC. Why is it doing this every single time? It makes no sense. I've driven for a total of 11 hours.
Welcome back, Peter.
Welcome back! Yeah, in this area here, about 113 strong. Right, I need to have a quick bathroom break for a second. Give me a second. Alrighty! Jings almighty! I am boiling! Right, we're gonna get this car more set up. than it was before. Got a wee bit more acceleration going on here. Right. I can feel the speed. We're gonna fast travel to the one that we were doing before. Well, we're just gonna do it. Hokubu Ascent.
Oh my god.
I don't know why we're at a petrol station. It makes no sense. Like, ultimately, it doesn't make any sense. Unless that's just a culture for street races. Oh, you fat, ugly slut muffin! Boy! Nah, you cheating! You're cheating! God! Whenever you're at like 160, you can guarantee They're close to 200 or even over it. The brakes are locking up! Brake locking is far too aggressive. Like right there, I barely tapped the trigger. And it's like, okay, brake locking. The logic behind it, if he was locking up that lightly. I will fucking murder each and every single one of you bastard balls. God, you're annoying! Why do we spend all the Oh, you're fucking trash! What's that on my glasses? What happened? Never. What? My glasses get so dirty. What? It's crazy. Oh. The crazy part is, I was at a point where I shouldn't have spun out. Like, that is just insanity. Oh, we need to work on the gearing situation, or else we're just gonna outright lose. One 160 is basically it. I genuinely don't think this engine is all that good right now. Oh, it is so heated that my earbuds are just sitting moving around my ear. It's like, what? This engine is not the best suited for racing like this. There you go, butt muncher. You absolute short waffle. There we go! That is how you do it! They all picked up steam and acceleration at the last second! Like absolute fucking choked! Like final... There's so many things wrong with the AI in this game. There really is. Like, not gonna lie. It is the most aggressive that the rubber banding has actually been, because a lot of those guys were just so far behind. They just weren't worth the time or effort, and then it's like zip. Pushing past! I'm like, brother man, fuck right off, will ya? Oh. It is such a terrible thing. it's ultimately terrible, right? When you know you're the best there is in that particular race, not only because you have a half decent vehicle, but because of the time and effort you put into tuning it to get to that level, only for someone to zip faster than it is actually possible with a vehicle of that caliber. And I've said it for ages, rubber banding is absolutely atrocious. Why don't you actually have a smart AI? Like, what are you talking about, my guy? We can do that. Oh, that's sexy. What? Oh my god. I wonder what it'll do with all that horsepower, though. Oh, of course it does that with tire compound. Okay, can we max it? Da 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 da. Oh my god. Okay, we're leaving it on stock. Holy crap, 106k? That's insanity. Anyway, I could join you. I want to show you my car. I'd have to add you on Xbox and pull you into a convoy. Oh my lord, think the pull on this. I mean, to be fair, we're already at gear 5 and it's like 80 miles an hour, so torque's not a problem for this. Holy bananas, Batman. That's a little too low for gear 1. Okay, that's insane. That's an insane pull right there. Oh, there we go. Okay, 236 mile an hour. Holy bananas. I'm gonna have a bigger center of balance towards the back. Forward. Forward. Oh, that thing is quick. It is, it's very quick. Oh, we ain't stopping. Holy crap, Asgus. Okay, so while this that would be a drag setup. That would 1,000,000% be a drag racing setup. You are not stopping and you are not turning with this. Well, you can turn, but your 0 to 60 is insane. I'm gonna put a better engine in it, more suited for this car. The stock one isn't the best for putting out power, overall power. So with that last race, that could have been one of our problems. Yes, we were heavily modified, but the engine itself still has restrictions, and there are better suited engines for it. This car ultimately might just be one of the quickest that I have, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's grab another engine. I am money limited in this game, so that's gonna be a fun one. That one's a 1,000 foot-pound torque. I've used a diesel engine like that before. However, DSC. Do we want this? Let's stop powertrain. Do we want? No, we're gonna take. Or take the V10. Take the V10. V10 all day. So we're all-wheel drive. I'm gonna immediately put better tires on it because we need to at this point. We want our brakes so we can actually stop the damn thing. I will need to do my gears, which is not a problem. Oh, we still have all this installed. Love that for us. I want my flywheel. I want my oh, what about camshaft? Can we do a camshaft? Ooh. I don't want to go into the S classes with this car because that's when everything just gets so powerful. Like, it's unreal the difference. Let's do pistons in a block. Yeah, let's do pistons in a block. So we're now much lighter than before, which is a fun time. We're going to modify, we're going to raise the car up a little bit, not by much. And we're going to tune the gears and see what kind of speed we're going to get from this thing. Because we're at acceleration. We're going to make it all the way down here. Gear 1 is obviously up here. Gear 2, 3, 4. And this one makes a lot more sense now. And pull it back just ever so slightly. So springs, you want to raise the car up just a little bit. Make it a bit more soft on the springs. Damping should be fine. Brakes, we're going to lessen that by a fair amount so I can actually press down on the damn thing. One thing that keeps bothering me is how easily the gears keep locking up. And I'm not a fan of that. Ooh. Oh yeah, we do a lot better in the race with this setup. Because it is raw A class. It is just shy of S class. If I were to do a camshaft on this, it'd be a different story. S class cars are just built different. They're so insane. Right, what else are we doing? Do we have any more speed zones? Oh, not speed zones. Street races. Oh, we got this second scramble we can do. Evil versus Impreza. I do have an Evil or an Impreza. I have both of them. Do I? Yeah, I've got both. I've got both. I believe that one is B class. Yeah, it's B class. Question is, am I gonna get absolutely destroyed? Oh, do I want to downgrade the Subaru? Or do I want to grab this TM edition? It's already 4-wheel drive. We can give it a bit more power. Let's pick a plate. Let's do a house that is close by. That's not a house. Where is my house? Where is house? Okay, May's house. Because we spent the first 40 minutes of this stream just dicking about and reading an IGN review. Which, funny enough, it wasn't actually terrible. It's not a bad thing, in all honesty. Right. So, this is what I ultimately spend a lot of my time doing in this game. Is just tinkering. We're gonna have a racing transmission. We're gonna have a racing driver line. Oh, we're gonna go rally diff. We're gonna. I'm assuming it's gonna be a bit of rallying. Oh, that's cool that the virus kit allows you to see the engine. We are gonna purposefully lower. No. We're gonna purposely lower our performance index just so we can get a couple of things here. Well, that just gives us track. One tarnation. No. Because our handling takes a hit. Our weight takes a hit, I think. Actually, we could just do that. So now we've got a bit more performance in the tank to play with. Kind of. So I want to do a flywheel. I want to do this. Oh, damn it. Can we get away with an air intake? Yeah, we can. I mean, we're a bunch of horsepower higher. Did I not do brakes? Oh, crap. Oh, look at that! My stuff disappeared from that place. We do a bit of rallying here and there. Do this, do this. Now we get on to the really fun stuff. Because we're going to lose some performance index in a second when we get to our upgrades. It's a bit of a bar. I get more speed by doing this. Let's grab this. Let's grab this. Sorry, I'm heavily focused right now. I mean, power's the same, torque's more. We're not getting horsepower, we're getting torque. Yeah, let's go! I hope everyone's doing alright. We're doing more Forza in the week. I mean, dropping a point is no big deal. We are unfortunately gaining a fair bit of weight. With all of that. It does weigh us down, however, it's all fine. We have everything that we need to gain an advantage in a race. So bring our gearing up. To be fair. We want our gear ratios to be close. But not like terribly close. That's insane. You know what? Reset the default. We'll bring it all forward. Just keep things a little bit more closer. I mean, none of this is inherently terrible. At the rear, we're gonna go for speed. Our diff is gonna be higher. Springs higher. Softer at the front and at the back. Actually, our entire roll should be a little bit higher. Oh yeah, this isn't terrible. Yeah, no, we can easily do server versus thingy now. If it was A class, I could have put tires on it, done a camshaft. And then a couple more smaller bits, and it would have been just fine. And actually quite below, or depending on how you do it, how you see it. If I did tires and a camshaft, I ultimately would have had such a good vehicle, especially with this car's performance index. Oh, I've just realized I've not touched the brakes. Yeah, so now we're actually like cutting about like actual rally. That was one hell of a start we just got. Nice. Nice find. Wait, car? Oh, car mastery. Yeah, we get 3K from that. Woohoo! Let's do it! Harvest Festival! Let's go! Thank you. I wouldn't mind getting an older Lancer. That's from maybe a C class or whatever, and upgrading that. I might be ruining the immersion a little bit. Yeah, we're not doing terribly, which is actually great. I'm hoping anyone who's watching can hear the audio. Right, third lap. Oh, Jesus, man. That's the kind of distance you should have. Or close enough to it in regular races if you're running a pure built up car build. So like what the difference between myself and Bowie 999. I would have said it should have been a little bit closer. He should have been close to being behind me. Because if that happens and there's no shenanigans going on, then you can guarantee there is an honest, fair race. And there's been credit where credit is due, there have been more of those in here than there have been in other Horizon games. Yeah, boy. I got a thing. Oh, we got a Metro GR4. Interesting. So we're not getting credits for. We get credits for we get credits for the treasure cars. Nice. Oh, what's the car you can buy up here? A GR Yaris. For 96k. It is an S-Class. Oh, it's got a body kit and everything on it. 96k. Do we... I will come back to that because as far as I'm aware, those cars just don't change. Ah, son of a gun. Not again! Oh, hopefully we can get some extra points. 113,000, that's not terrible. That is at least a whole 2 points. I think. Also, keeping in mind, your points can, not points. Your tires can also go bald. Which I find to be hilarious. It's cute, man. Ah, the little characters in the field. Under 23K, let's go! Look at me, we're really doing a lot here, aren't we? Well, we got that sign. How many points have we got? We got 9. Right. So a little bit more driving, and then we can have the right amount that we need to unlock the crap in our treasure cars. So yeah, treasure cars give you a whole bunch of cash, which I find to be hilarious. Just the overall amount that they give you. I'm gonna grab. I'm not gonna grab. I'm gonna go to my place. Oh, we collected that one. We'll go up here to the Minka house. And what we'll do is we'll upgrade this car, because we're well past the B class section now. So we'll grab this and bada bing, bada boom, we should be able to do something with it. I also want to upgrade a car and then stick it on the auction house and see just what comes back.
Welcome back, Peter.
Upgrades and tuning. This is a rally, boy. Rally tire. We got the thick boys. Little thick boys in my car. So we'll do this. Yeah, we got the power. I got the power. So we're now at A class. We don't have camshaft and all that good stuff in there. That wasn't terrible. Tomorrow I think we'll do the big one. Do you even want this? Wait, you know what? Let's do the speed traps in the DeLorean real quick. We'll take the A-class DeLorean and we'll do a few speed traps. Set some times down and see what comes of it. And get rid of all of them. Speed traps is what I want here. We're just gonna fast travel to a bunch of them, and bada bing bada boom, we'll have that done. And I hope to God, it goes well for us. So specifically speed traps. The speed traps are genuinely fun. You know what though? This game might also benefit from like a cops and robbers mode. Jesus Christ. DeLorean enthusiasts, they're gonna fucking grill me for that one. Oh, you tossing my DeLorean, beloved, right off a bloody cliff. Hey. God damn, I swear to God. Some people are just right gets about it. What do we get? 1, 2. That's another thing I don't like, is that the game doesn't tell you how many stars on the left until you had a 3-star. Bloody insulting, isn't it? Well, I'm taking this route. That way when I do reach, I'll have the speed. What did I get me? 2 stars? Nice. Let's try this one. Yeah, because if we were able to just like whip out a bunch of these speed trap, oh god, oh god. Bog to the future. Now the DeLorean looks like it was found in a barn 55 years ago. And now my steering's jacked up. Love that. Oh, I swear, these fucking traffic goers. Also, the fact that the steering's gone, I'm gonna have to restore the car. Look at the panel damage. Insanity. Insanity. I mean, what panel damage? There is none. Is he trying to drift? It's funny you see just how many, just see other people's damage in this. So like, when you're just chilling and you're driving along and then you see a car out of alignment, oh, where's the next one? Oh, not too far away from here. Yeah, we'll knock out maybe one or two more after this, and then that'll be stream. There should be a bigger balance of racing and me reading the IGN article from earlier. It's also, one thing that's also funny to me, I'll talk more about that in a second. Oh, we got 3 stars. Boy. Let's go! We got a whole boatload of points now. We got 6 of them. Ah! So now we've got 15 mastery tokens. We now got a doohickey bit of hoop spin for leveling up. Nice, we got a pulsar. And we got a red modern base helmet. Oh, actually though. Let's return back home. Let us return back home. Got a my character. God, some of these are just terrible. Ooh. Oh, I need these. What about shoes? Where's biker boots? Fucking Chelsea boots? Game! Who are you trying to market yourself towards? You know what needs to come back for this? Actually, we'll get into all this stuff in a second. Yeah, these gloves are just terrible. Outfits. Yeah, these facial expressions are all terrible. Whatever. That's the closest I'll ever get to my freaking hair color. Ah, feels bad to be a damn ginger. Anyway. Anyway. Before I skedaddle, I wanted to mention a couple of things to be completely transparent. I genuinely didn't expect to see or people playing Forza are doing it are living their dream car that they want to drive is a damn supercar or hypercar. It's very interesting to see because it's allowing you to live out your dream of driving any car that you may have wanted as a child and or grown up with. In my case, the car that's had my affection for years has been the DeLorean. It is such a great car. But with so many cars that have existed, it's funny to see just how many people are picking hypercars and supercars. Because, I mean, you have the Lancer Evos, you have the Subaru Imprezas, you have all your classics, like your TVRs, Vipers, and all that good stuff. It is just so interesting to just see the variety. There's even a couple of people that have driven past those in the game in the past that are just driving Supras, and I'm like, that is actually awesome. What? Are you kidding? But ultimately, what's the takeaway from tonight? Well, we learned that Turn 10 Playground Games is actually going to be working on the AI for the game, because they've had endless complaints about the AI being too quick. They do need to address that. However, I can improve on it with a suggestion. You work on AI so that it's not as rubber bandy. However, I would also like to add that they should also add a skill-based system, like what Horizon 4 had, where the AI learns how you drive and tries to combat you, and can and will try to brake check you and take necessary measures so that you don't try and pass them. Alright, Motorsport 4 has this, or a variant of it. Now, it is a festival, so you're going to be facing off against the same people again and again. So having the AI learn how you drive would be so much more beneficial in the long run as well. Because there have been instances where the game looks like it looks like the AI is brake checking you or stopping themselves from crashing into you, and it took me by surprise. And the IGN article also pointed out something very similar to that, and I'm like, wait a minute, that might just actually be plausible. There might be occasions where they try not to crash into you, but as we saw tonight and in a few other streams, they will take every opportunity to smack into the back of you. So that's also a fun time. Anyway. That's all I have time for right now. This heat is kicking my backside in. I can feel my nose closing up, like, real bad. I need to get myself a little bit of food. I need some more stuff to drink. And I have a little bit of practice to get, to as well. So, there's that. Anyway, over the weekend, I know it's Wednesday, but when the weekend comes, I'm going to be making another couple of videos. I'll get one or two done on Saturday, I'll get another one or two done on a Sunday, and then wrap that up, get to editing, get to putting them up for channel members. If you're not a channel member, feel free to become one by clicking the join button down below. Alright? After all that's done and it's up for channel members, I will make some more content, and when that content gets to the editing process, I will start drip feeding content slowly to public. So there should be around 7 videos to go out by the time the next batch is due to be made. So here's hoping, because like I said, I'm a one-man army here. I've been saying this for quite a while now. I do need to bring on an editor. I need to find the right editor. I also need to find the right price point. Because every editor has their own fees and that they charge, but like by for every hour of footage you get them to edit down, that's X amount. So that is something. Yeah, it's not much left in that, but it's fine. So once I can find an editor that I can afford, because there's no point me bringing on an editor if I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll meet you at your price point. I need to find an editor that's in my price point. If I'm giving them an hour of footage, or hour and a half worth of footage, give or take, we can negotiate within a certain price point. Obviously, I'm not gonna lowball an editor. No way in hell. Because I know the struggles it takes to go through editing, and editors these days are putting a lot more effort into it than I ever did. So, I would maybe see if they would go down just a tiny bit, not by much, maybe like a few bucks. Then we get videos. So if I can get an editor on, I'd still be on thumbnails, I'd still be doing the recording, but then the editing goes to someone else to do it. And that takes a lot off of me in general. And then I can, get to Shibugi and all that kind of stuff. Get a whole bunch of content out there, put out there for members, then public, yada yada yada. But not every video is gonna be a heavy edit or even edited. Like the montage ones that or the montage one I've uploaded. That was barely edited. I can do that kind of work. But the bigger ones like Dragon Ball Xenoverse and potentially other future videos, nah, I don't have the patience to sit and do that anymore. But it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. It's just gonna take longer for those episodes to come out because, well, I find it pretty boring to edit those ones down. But anyway, that's all I got time for right now. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all again tomorrow night for another rendition of Forza Horizon 6.